February 2nd, 2025, 8 a.m. This is Groundhog Day. As you can see, overnight, we have gotten frozen precipitation. We are currently getting frozen precipitation. There's a slight breeze out here. And right now, I don't know if you can see the direction of the flakes, but they are appearing as, well, I don't know. I was just looking out my bedroom window, and the flakes were coming down from the eastern direction, which is slightly unusual now of the so-called norm. And all this is slightly frustrating. Why? Because I got to deal with feeding the cats, feeding and watering the cats, and this crap. But that's okay, because this actually helps to increase my mood over the content of this day, in which I will be sharing multiple recordings attached to this clip in reference to yesterday and that strange Saturday that it was. I'm going to get some stuff off my chest today. It's a good day to do it. So stay tuned, because it's time for this dragon to attack the magician. Alright, the current time is 8:30 a.m. and there's no better time than the present to talk about the past. That being yesterday, Saturday, February 1st, 2025. And I shall now relate the story in scripted form with a little bit of ad-libbing here and there, possibly. A summarization of a strange Saturday. This is scripted with 5 pages to read. Which was written before 8 a.m. this morning. This strange Saturday began with a sign up 527, which I have already previously explained. I recorded the morning cat video and began the uploading process to that video. I have explained the disappearance and reappearance of that video. This made me feel quite foolish in the long run, especially after recording the follow-up video and later seeing the re-emergence of that cat video. Remember, the realization of the return came much later on in the day, as stated in my content of this now past Saturday. While Strange Story, the title of one of the previous videos, was uploading, the sites continued on, and so did my recording of the sky, which thereafter became the video entitled Trinity. I had completed Trinity and began uploading that as well. Alright, now it's typical, and if you want to use the word normal, fine, great. But that is typically what will occur. I will record content, and as there is still whatever continuing on, I will go ahead and start the uploading process to whatever I've recorded and get, anywhere from 3 to 5 videos pumping all at one time in the uploading process. And of course, throughout the history of this channel and of recent times, a lot of my videos that I post in chronological order, and even the processing thereof, this platform somehow will flip the videos out of that chronological order as I had desired. And it causes complications. Let's continue on. Okay, so as stated, I had completed the video Trinity, and which, this also includes the editing process times with these videos as well. Okay, so you have to consider that factor and add that into the overall equation of the story, if you will. Okay, and so I started uploading that video Trinity. A few minutes later, I had to stop the process and delete Trinity as, gee, that upload failed as metadata could not be saved. This is yet another new complication that has only started to take place over the last year or so, give or take, okay? I've had quite a few videos now that I've had to delete and restart the uploading process for either that metadata failure or the factor that I realized that, once again, even though I have started the uploading process to a couple of videos separately and in chronological order and all that, during the uploading process, the latter video will all of a sudden start to jump ahead in the upload process and take over the positioning of the earlier video that's also currently uploading at the time. Okay? So the latter video, to where the process starts in later and after, like a first video, all of a sudden it will speed up, and which the second video can be longer in duration even. And then in the first video can be, anywhere from 30 to 50% uploaded, and you start in uploading the second video, and even though it's even longer in duration, gee, all of a sudden that process speeds up for that second video and mysteriously will jump in front, and therefore that chronological order is no more. Yeah. Alright, so continuing on. So as Strange Story was still uploading, so I began re-uploading Trinity. Typically I have no problems uploading 3 or more videos at once and can still record more as I wait for the posted results thereof, okay? At 3:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon, I see a magnificent sundog, or mock sun. I mean, it's just beautiful. I grabbed my phone and ran out, and I started recording again. And approximately 6 to 7 minutes into that recording, all of a sudden I realized that, well, I was stuck. My screen was froze up and it was stuck like this. But yet, even though my screen was froze up, it was still showing that I was recording. And it's like, what the heck? So I stopped that recording, okay? So basically, yeah, so I went ahead and I stopped the recording process myself, and I restarted once again. Although now frustration is beginning to kick in as I'm realizing what is transpiring, possibly. Camera on, stuff happening in the sky, only 2 vids uploading, I hit record button and cannot record while audio is in use in other app. This is a little pop-up notification through my camera that I get, is that cannot record while audio is in use in other app. What? Again and again, I continue to try recording by hitting the record button, and again, this notification keeps popping up. Very frustrated now, I decided to hell with it and began snapping photos. I was not able to resume recording until after both vids had completed posting. I have never had this issue before. Okay? So what happened to that 6 to 7 minute long recording that I had to manually stop? Gone. It did not save, even though I stopped the recording myself. It did not save. Alright? Now here comes the kicker. Throughout all these frustrations and troubles that I was experiencing, there was objects showing up everywhere in the sky. Alright? And I'm just going to loosely use that word, objects. Re-examine those two videos after the cat video from yesterday, Saturday story and the Trinity, and you will see orbs and more when you examine. That is, if those videos are not highly pixelated and whitewashed, as much of my sky content tends to appear after the posting process to this platform. A silvery, shiny object was next to the sun as well as next to the moon, the crescent moon, as seen in the slideshow after this explanation. Please take note that this platform does mess with my content as I show too much of what they are apparently involved in trying to hide, or the attempts thereof. This is the dragon now striking back at the magician regarding the trickery act of the illusion with a disappearing video as a prop. Their prop. So on to the slideshow. Alright? And an explanation to that. It begins with two screenshots in regards to that 6 to 7 minute recording that froze up and actually disappeared. Okay? So I had one video on the platform that disappeared and reappeared mysteriously. And then I have a video that completely disappears that I had recorded, manually stopped the recording, and it was not saved into the file. And I show two screenshots as examples and proof of that occurring. Proof is in the pudding, people. And so this video disappears, and it was actually showing some of the best recorded shots of yesterday, that strange Saturday. Gone, but with evidence of having still been there. From there, I show the trails and some colors. Take notice of the side-by-side drive-by in the sky with the craft and the pre-existing trail. Adding so much. Ugh. Then we move on to the crescent moon, not yet realizing the silver object, in which the silver object actually, when I first do sight it, it is near the top of the crescent of said moon. But as the day progressed, or the afternoon progressed, the object was slowly moving away from said moon. I showed the location of the moon and then the sun. Yeah, these pics are shown in the order of which they were taken, with the exceptions of the captioned duplicates, okay? I show the trails in conjunction with the location of the moon. Then the silver object near the sun is shown. Not all blue shots that you will see will show this object. Again, I just put together in succession the photos that I took, with the exception of the caption photo, which are duplicates. So then we have a couple of weird waves that show up, okay? They kind of look like those fingerprints, thumbprints, or whatever up there. From this point on, I show the clouds rolling in and covering up the moon and its nearby objects. You will see the silver thing with a spherical orb object directly below. And the spraying continues. Or should I say, the cover-up. We then see a strange looking cloud that seems very out of place amongst its neighbors within the western sky. Then another strange cloud appears that to me looks like a bee. Hint, hint. With a very long stinger. Again, not one object near moon. Again, there's not one object near the moon, but apparently two, unlike the caption we'll read in the slideshow. But you will see that there's two objects. All treetop / cloud shots are of the moon in the final photos. Now we come to that magic hour of 5 o'clock. And Trinity is still uploading, and the camera still refuses to record as more is still transpiring in the sky overhead. That's it. I'm done. Screw this. Once Trinity finally posted, in which I have at that point to watch any of Saturday's postings thus far, 6 p.m., and I'm fit to be tied and record the dragon / magician video and later the egg video. However, it is between those two videos that I recorded yet another sky observation at 7:30 p.m. and not 6:30 p.m. as I mistakenly state as I'm recording. It'd been a long, strange Saturday, okay? So understand this. This clip will be seen after the slideshow of this video. When you view this, think of world flags, as I see this as yet another sign of the times. And what is the moral of this story, you might ask? Well, as the hashtag that I created states, down with artificial intelligence, as that has been the magician in which this dragon has been attacking. Thank you so much to that magician that just keeps the fire alive within this dragon. So on that note, the story has concluded as far as I'm concerned. Now we go to the slideshow, and after the slideshow, that 7:30 recording, and I'll leave you with that. So take care of one another, and well, at some point I guess we'll be right back here once again, here on this flip side of reality. Okay, 7:30 p.m. and I gotta step out here real easy like because it's all ice on my deck once again. And okay, so what time did I say it was? 6:30 p.m. this Saturday evening. Okay, so here's our follow-up here. This is what I was trying to get earlier on today next to the moon. Okay, now whether this is a star, a planet, or what, I don't know. And I'm thinking that this will have to be attached to maybe after the slideshow that I show on Sunday. Okay, and I don't know how well that is turning out. It looks as though that milkiness is up there in the sky tonight. Very cold out here. I don't know what happens if I dim this down. There, yeah, that's what it looks like if I dim it down. But then, ooh, we also had an object next to the sun. And I have no clue what that was. Alright? So, on that note, it is way too cold for me to stand out here and record. And there we have it.